Honorable guests, thank you. Thank you for your courtesy. Thank you for inviting. Thank you for making me part of this dignified event. I will have two parts of my comments before you. One is to update you where we stand today, where I stand today, where we Muslims stand today, because I've been traveling state to state, altogether about 25 states that I have traveled, and I have met with Muslim community, and I have met with the children of Muslim community, elders of Muslim community. I have sat with them and asked them questions, what worries them, what bothers them. And the second part is, in my humble opinion, what we could be doing, what we should be doing, or what we are doing that will make the difference. First, when we started this journey, it was not for ourselves. It was for the sake of small children that were worried about that ugly political rhetoric and the speech in which we were threatened, Hispanic Americans were threatened, women were threatened, judges were threatened. And whenever I would go to a home of Muslim small children or our friends in Hispanic community, the small children will come to me and ask, "You're an attorney, please tell us, are we going to be thrown out of this country?" Parents would say children don't want to go to school with this fear in their mind that when they say that if we went to school, when we come back, we may not find you because our friends in school taunt us, tease us. It was that was in our mind when the invitation came, so we got up and we stood there and we waved that Constitution. What we were trying to do is to highlight the values of the Constitution of the United States, the values of freedom of speech, freedom of practice of religion, equal dignity, equal protection of law, and due process of law. And those values are challenged today. We continue to speak. I have not stopped. I was thinking after the election, my engagements will slow down, but believe me, by the Muslim communities, by other organizations, good organizations like ACLU, my engagements have increased manyfold to come and speak, come and appraise the community about what is taking place, and share the safeguards that these good organizations, which is hosting this event. And I'll tell you the value and the importance of the work that this organization does and is doing and will be doing. So my engagements have increased manyfold, and each and every community I go, same question is asked, and that question is, are we going to be okay? Are our children going to be okay? What about our civil liberties? What about our civil rights? Please continue to speak. Please tell other organizations continue to speak. So we do. We continue to speak because that is one way of challenging. It's one way those challenge these civil liberties. Look at the example of the movement of civil rights in this country. The rights that we enjoy, we take those rights for granted. Our civil rights leader had to struggle for many years, had to offer so many sacrifices so that we will have the dignity and we will have our civil rights. Time has come that we all stand up. We all realize that the values that we cherish so much, values of equal dignity, equal protection of law, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, that we have cherished, that we stand, we defend those values, we stand, we remain, we speak, we announce very loudly. And always remember that in history there had been many a times when these values in this country have been challenged. But the good people of that time stood and defended these values, and today we cherish. This time shall pass, but our role is defined by history, that we are chosen to defend these values, and we should remain standing, we should remain firm. The entire country, I travel city to city, community to community. As I face them, I face one more thing that is so heartening, that is so important for us to note. Among us sit the leaders of faith, leaders of other faiths and Muslim faith. It is the interfaith interaction that will strengthen us. I have been to communities where when I see the interaction of interfaith leaders with the community, the incidences, the events of harassment, events of threatening our faith and our identity had been very less. So interfaith leaders are source of strength for us. We should remember, we should increase our interfaith activity. We should increase and we should highlight our organizations, and within those organizations we should include the members of other faiths to come and join hand with us. Your community is a shining example of all the good things that are taking place, but that is only here or a couple of other places in Chicago and Washington, D.C. But go further. That is why when I come to the point in my conversation with you that what we should be doing, first, I want you, all of us that are present here or within the reach of my voice, I want you to promise yourself, I want you to empty your wallets tonight. I want you to donate. That is one thing that you can do momentarily. I want organizations like this where I am standing, where you are sitting, to have office in each and every state of United States. That is how we are going to make the difference. Inshallah, next year, this organization will have 50 offices, not 3 offices, and that will only happen if all of us do our part and we donate and we contribute generously. That is our obligation to make this, to fight the fight that lies ahead, all of us. That is one thing. Second thing, always remember, whenever I ask our Muslim community, how many counties are in United States? Different answers. There are approximately 3,100 counties in United States. Each county has a county clerk. I am sharing with you a technique that should be used so effectively, that would be so effective in having our voice heard in each and every county wherever Muslims live. And that is that each county has citizens boards of various activities. Citizens board that selects and monitors police activities, citizens board that grants permits, citizens board that does the city planning, citizens board that watches schools, citizens board that approves funding for the police department and police activities. I want Muslims to pick up telephone. If you really want to have voice in this system, in this country, pick up the phone and ask the county clerk's office, could you mail, I am a citizen of this, resident of this county, can you send me the vacancies that are open so I could apply for them? It is only that telephone call that they will be so glad to hear from a Muslim. They will be so glad to include you in whatever commissions, whatever boards you wish to join. That is the grassroots activity that you can start at your own when you feel so overwhelmed that I am afraid that my faith, my identity, faith of other immigrants is being challenged. What can I do at my level beside contributing to organizations like this? Second thing is volunteer. Become member of the boards that I mentioned, member of the commissions that each county has. Become members, be the voice, and it takes only, I've been told by the mayors, by their offices, that Muslims shy away from that activity. They should be participating in such an activity. More important is that we need to have these conversations not only once a year or twice a year, more often. Next few years, we should have these gatherings more often, fundraising more often, getting together, speaking, having our agenda more often, not once a year. It could be at smaller scale, but this conversation must continue. You do not know, I do not know where this conversation that we are having tonight is going to go, how far this conversation is going to go. Make sure that we continue to speak. It is our civic obligation. We are not only Muslim American. I always, whenever anybody asks me and whenever there is an opportunity, I always say, I am patriotic American Muslim. Never underestimate the power of your statement. When you say, I am patriotic American Muslim, it is heard loud and clear. Make sure that when we are honored with the citizenship of this country, with that honor comes the responsibility of making sure that we keep this country safe, make sure that we are protector of the values of this country, make sure that we are protector of the goodness of this country, the fundamental values of this country. I always implore Muslims, and especially our youth, to go read, find out the Constitution of Medina, the Covenant of Medina. It has a different name, but in today's political science language, it will be called the Dasturul Medina. The Prophet wrote that document. It is embodiment of pluralism. All faiths, all ethnicities, all languages are represented in that document with equal dignity. Each one has place of worship. So if somebody wishes to ask about your faith, make sure beside Quran and Hadith, you make mention of Covenant of Medina, Constitution of Medina, that dignifies the value of pluralism that is so inherent in our faith. We shy away from that discussion. Finally, I want to share this, and I want to promise something what lies ahead. In every event that I have gone, I have asked the inclusion of our youth, because that is where the solution lies for us Muslims and for immigrants, that we prepare, that we prepare our youth, that we prepare them for the leadership of the future, that we hand over the baton to them, but with preparation, that each and every organization like this, where we sit tonight, is a tremendous resource. We should ask its leadership. They do have leadership preparation program that sends our youth to Congress, and they are involved with the congressional programs. But I ask something totally different. I ask this because this need is throughout the country among Muslims and other immigrants, and that is to prepare our youth, to prepare our future generation in their home base, in their counties where they are stationed. Prepare them how to be the candidates, not just the votes. Prepare them, train them how to do the fundraising, how to write the platform, how to have the volunteers, how to gather them, how to have the support of the community. These are 4 or 5 things that we must do, and we do it immediately. And we should start it not tomorrow, but today, so that we are ready. 2017 elections are right here. I already been approached by several candidates in Virginia where I live. Would you campaign with us? Would you support us? What issues you want us to be talking about when we come to Muslim community? You are tremendously resourceful community. The political organizations, both parties, Republicans and Democrats, they recognize if you have faith in your resources and you use them when the time comes, and this is the time to use those resources, your voice will be heard. These bridges that we want to build, which is the topic of the symposium today, these bridges will be built when there is reconciliation from both sides. We are ready to build the bridges. We need the other side to stand up and step forward to build the bridges. Those bridges will be built when we fully realize our potential and we have resources allocated to building bridges, training our youth, preparing them to take the charge, take the baton, and move us forward. I have seen the potential of our community. I have seen the potential personally, person to person, community to community. We are such a resourceful community. Some of the leaders that came and that spoke to you, they admit the resourcefulness of this community. We should have faith in that. That is where lies when some challenges worry us. What is going to be our future? That is our future. We are very much part of America. We are very much part of the protectors of America. There are over 5,000 Muslims serve in the armed forces of the United States today. In New York, there are more than 900 NYPD police officers that serve so bravely today. We are healers. We are healthcare providers of this country. We are professionals of all sorts of this country. Above all, we are the most patriotic citizens of this country. Therefore, we should fully appreciate and realize our potential, have faith in it. This country appreciates us. We will continue to be patriotic citizens of this country. So the work lies ahead. I urge you again at the conclusion that please, this is the night to be generous. This is the night to show this organization that we appreciate its work and we will continue to support so this good work continues. And hopefully when we meet next year, they will be able to announce that now we have 30 offices, not 3 or not 4. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.